So let's talk about building muscle while losing fat. And in this video, I want to dive into the truth. First, I'll show you when is this likely to occur. So when is this body recomposition something that you can expect? And then I want to dive into 3 things you need to know about this process and how to actually modify your program and what you can change in order to make this more likely to occur. And this whole topic of body recomposition, I mean, so much BS out there. People claiming you can build 20 pounds of muscle in a month while losing fat, all kinds of nonsense. I mean, this is just so much garbage, and I really want to dive into the truth. I want to tell you what to expect. I want to first show you what's in your control, what circumstances to really look for, and then what you can do about it. Because at the end of the day, there's no magic solution. This is going to require hard work. A body recomposition is tremendous amount of effort and knowledge and things that go into it, and you need to know about this stuff in order to set yourself up for success. And by the way, if you're new around here, my name is Mario Tomic. If you'd like to learn more about exercise, nutrition, how to make this a lifestyle, how to optimize the process, consider subscribing below. Also, make sure to enable those notifications by hitting that bell icon, and so you get notified when new videos come out. And now let's dive into it. So the first thing we need to discuss is when is this likely to occur? And the first scenario that comes to mind that you can expect building muscle while losing fat is when you're a beginner, so someone who doesn't have a lot of training experience, less than 6 months in the gym, someone who hasn't done it very seriously, not much background in a lot of sports or any other type of training, and you're at a high body fat percentage. So someone who is, let's say, 25% body fat, just getting into the gym, maybe done a month or 2 of training, you can definitely expect to build muscle while losing fat. The other scenario would be an intermediate, so someone who's done, let's say, a year or 2 of training, but never really took it seriously. So someone who's basically been doing generic routines, kind of going through the motions, hasn't systematized things, hasn't really dialed things into a more personal level to really what works for their genetics and what their body responds to the best. And in that type of situation, if that individual is also at, let's say, 20, 25, or 30% body fat, and they want to get down to, let's say, 10 or 12% body fat, in that case, you can probably build muscle if you do things the right way. If you really optimize every bit of the process, you can expect to build muscle. Now, the other individual is also someone who has years of training experience, but they haven't really been consistent. So you kind of go 3 months on, then 2 months off, or 6 months on, then 3 months off. So you're kind of gaining and losing the same muscle and regaining it due to muscle memory. Well, in this case, you're probably gonna build muscle if you just go after a break. If you haven't trained for a very long time, you go back into the gym and you're in a calorie deficit to lose body fat, you're probably gonna still be able to rebuild that muscle that you've lost, that you've already had before. So in these type of circumstances, it's likely that you're going to gain muscle. And by the way, if this describes your situation, definitely put it in the comments below. And if you have any kind of question about this, also do that, because I do read the questions in the comments. So definitely do that. And now, when is this less likely to occur? So let's say you're someone who has 10 or let's say 6 years of really good, solid training experience. You've been very progressive. You've done things right, you've educated yourself, you've had coaches, you've really optimized the process, and you're, let's say, below 20% body fat, you want to get down to 10% body fat, and you are very strong, you're very close to your genetic potential in terms of how much muscle you have. In this case, it's not very likely that you're going to be able to put on any significant amount of muscle mass while losing body fat. In this case, what you really can do is optimize everything in order to enable you to maintain all the muscle you have. And that's really something that isn't a bad thing, because you're already close to your genetic potential, so you look fantastic. It's all about getting rid of that body fat in order to reveal those gains. So in any case, you're still basically setting yourself up for success. And when you go in a lean gaining phase, then you can really focus on putting on more muscle. And then next time you go in a fat loss phase, you will be able to, again, keep and hold on to that muscle that you've built through that lean gaining phase. And that's just normal. So pretty much a lot of different case scenarios, like when we're talking about where you might be right now, or a lot of people watching this video, you could probably build muscle while losing body fat. And this is something that goes against sort of this traditional stuff where people say, oh, it's not possible, you can't make it happen. People underestimate what can you do. I mean, of course, it depends on your genetics. In some cases, like, you really have to work extremely hard to build muscle even in a surplus. But in a lot of cases, from my experience as a coach who has worked with hundreds of individuals, when we optimize everything, in a lot of cases, you build a ton of muscle, like even more than we would predict using certain formulas, or when we just look at the common experience of people in the gym. Because most people in the gym, they aren't really running optimized training programs, so they're not a good sample size for what is possible. I mean, you're gonna meet most people in a commercial gym, they're gonna look exactly the same year to year, and that's really why they're not really happy. But also, they're not using the proper program. So it's something that you don't want to compare yourself to other people who are doing a suboptimal program. You really want to look at yourself and your own genetics and what's possible for you. Now, the second thing I want to do here is give you some guidelines that if you identified yourself in those particular scenarios that I described earlier where building muscle while losing fat is more likely, what can you do about your program to tweak and modify things in order to make that more likely to happen? And the first thing we got to talk about is your calorie deficit. So if you go super aggressive on your diet, it's less likely to occur that you're going to be building muscle. And what I would advise is staying somewhere around 0.5 and at most 0.7 of your body weight loss per week. And the leaner you are, the more you're at that 0.5 and even lower than that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with losing at 0.4 or even going at 0.35% of your body weight per week, simply in order to, first of all, make the diet more manageable, but also to enable yourself to build more muscle mass. And this is something that really depends on how you want to go about things, because some people prefer to super aggressive and then go into building muscle. Some people prefer to have that more manageable, and I will talk about this, and I have talked about this a lot in terms of like how fast or how slow you want to go in terms of fat loss. But really, the slower you go, the more likely it is that you're going to be building muscle. Now, the second factor that you can modify that's really important when it comes to building muscle while losing fat is progressive overload. So is your training optimized? If you're gaining strength, if you're getting more reps, if your bar is moving faster, if you just feel overall super strong and you see that the training is moving in the right direction, you're improving your technique, and overall you're continuously making gains, well, then you're most likely also building muscle while you're losing body fat. And this is something that's really important, because a lot of guys, they think the body fat process is all about nutrition. They completely neglect their training. I mean, nutrition is of course important. I mean, you can't outrun a bad diet. You don't want to just go all crazy in the nutrition side of things. But once you dial in your nutrition, you also want to look at your training, because your training is the main stimulants that will enable muscle growth to happen. So you do have to optimize that and really think about, are you progressing? Are you training with enough volume? Are you overtraining? What about intensity, exercise selection, frequency? Like, all those things become really, really important. And that's where you can make a lot of optimizations to enable you to build muscle while losing body fat. Now, the third factor and a part of your program that's in your control that you can change to really make it more likely to build muscle while losing fat is how much cardio are you doing. So in this case, like if you're someone who's doing a lot of steady state cardio, if you're relying on that for your caloric deficit, or someone who's doing a lot of HIIT cardio, a lot of intervals, I would recommend replacing those partially or completely with more walking. And by doing that, you're actually freeing up a lot of recovery capacity for your weight training efforts, and there's a lot of less fatigue generated in general, so there's a lot of less interference with your weight training efforts. And weight training is really the main thing that's going to be responsible for building that muscle. Of course, nutrition being there to provide building blocks, but the training is that stimulants. And now if you're exhausting yourself a lot with doing a ton of cardio and a lot of intense intervals, you're really interfering now with being able to train as hard as you need to build muscle. And with walking, not only are you increasing your energy expenditure, but you're also doing active recovery, which does help a lot to make you recover faster between the sessions. Now, there's a downside to walking, of course. It does take more time compared to, let's say, something like intervals, but there's also an upside if you combine walking with audiobooks, where you can actually tackle multiple goals at the same time. You can educate yourself in business, personal development. You can do a lot of different things at the same time as you walk, so you can really pursue multiple goals at the same time. So walking would be really that main thing that I would add in there instead of doing a ton more cardio if your goal is to really make it the most likely to build muscle while losing fat. Also, what I'm gonna do here actually at the end is I'm gonna leave a video that covers 5 mistakes that I see so many guys make when it comes to building muscle that I want you to check out so you can avoid those mistakes and set yourself up for success. Other than that, if you really enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you hit that like button below. It does help a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in that next video.